Today on Channel 8 News, we'll have updates on Turning Point USA's visit to Kansas State University.
Then we will take a look at how to keep your Uber ride safe and some self-defense tips. All this and more on Channel 8 News.
It's a cold and windy morning here in Manhattan, but stick around and we'll show you your weekly weather forecast here on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Bailey Short.
And I'm Carolina Lewis. A student group hosted right-wing speakers at Kansas State last Thursday. The Student Governing Association provided $3,000 to help host the event. Some students protested the event and its funding at Bosco Plaza. Reporter Jason Clapp has more on the story.
Turning Point USA is a national organization that has made some people upset when the local K-State chapter received funding from the Student Governing Association to fund an event that brought controversial speakers to their campus.
When SGA chooses to use student resources to fund something that is very far on one side of the spectrum, it silences the experiences of a lot of the K-State students and diverse culture that we have here, then that's a problem.
But Jaden McNeil, the Turning Point USA Kansas State chapter president, said that he jumped through all the correct hoops and was rightly qualified for funding.
I read through all the guidelines and I felt like our organization should be funded just like any other. So we aren't Republicans, we aren't Democrats. We just try to teach students about what our club believes, and that is free markets, fiscal responsibility, and limited government.
And while some students claimed that the event was not inclusive, but one of the speakers, Austin Fletcher, better known as Flecka Talks, said that he's here to spread ideas, not hate.
That we're not on opposite sides of the spectrum. We're closer to the middle than they realize. We come from a place of love. We have only love in our heart. We're not here to shut anyone down. I don't think they should be shut down. Hopefully they feel the same about us. And I'm a normal person just like them who loves this country. Maybe has different political views, but I'm not a monster.
Even with that being said, not everyone is buying what they're selling.
As a university, K-State has a responsibility to protect marginalized communities, and that giving bigoted speakers money is a poor representation of K-State's values of communities, and it sends the message to students from marginalized identities that K-State doesn't actually believe in protecting their interests.
In Manhattan, I'm Jason Clapp for Channel 8 News.
If you'd like to review Turning Point's website, you can find it at tpusa.com.
For the 8th year in a row, an event to help fight breast cancer is raising money to find a cure.
Polyester Party is a groovy way for community members to come together to raise money for the fight to cure breast cancer with music, contests, and games. The event took place on April 5th, where lively people came in 70s costumes to eat, drink, take pictures, and dance while donating money to K-State's Cancer Research Center.
This event was created by Dave Lewis to help find a cure for breast cancer when his wife passed away in 2006.
The morning show host for K-Man News Radio and the public address announcer for Kansas State football and men's basketball made the Purple and Pink Polyester Party 9 years ago and has been hosting the event with a year's break.
And I lost my wife to breast cancer in 2006. And the woman was just vivacious, and she loved to dance. She loved disco, 80s, she just loved great music. And I said, let's just put together a disco party.
In 2018, the party raised around $9,000 to also offer scholarships to KSU students whose field of research is in breast cancer, along with donating the money to the Johnson Cancer Research Center.
Well, our center depends on private donations. All our programs that support faculty and students doing cancer research.
The fundraiser is held in April in honor of Lewis's wife and the thousands of others whose lives are impacted by this disease.
I don't think you can find a person anywhere that hasn't been touched by someone that has had cancer. And it's the one cause I think this entire country and world could probably actually work together on to try to find a cure for cancer.
In Manhattan, Macy Burning, Channel 8 News.
Lewis hopes to create more awareness on the event and hopes to honor his wife and find a cure for cancer.
The Flint Hills Beer Fest drew over 30 area breweries on Saturday in a fundraising event for a home care and hospice here in Manhattan. The event featured beer tasting, live music, and food trucks. This was the first annual beer fest was well received by attendees who spent the afternoon tasting beer from a variety of breweries and spending time with friends. The director for home care and hospice says the event was a success, selling out all of their available tickets.
The only nonprofit hospice, we provide care to all, regardless of insurance status or ability to pay. So in order to offset the charitable care that we provide to the community, these type of fundraisers are really key to our sustainment as an organization and allowing us to be able to continue that special kind of caring.
Kansas State University welcomed prospective students, families, and alumni this past weekend to showcase K-State culture. This event drew in people from community throughout the Kansas and beyond.
Over the weekend, Kansas State University held its annual open house event. The event gives prospective students and families the opportunity to explore K-State's 250 majors and options, 475 campus clubs, and the opportunity to explore the 9 different colleges on campus. Teen coordinator of the Boys and Girls Club, Brandon Reed, says the event means a little more to him and his kids.
We brought our members out to see the campus, to explore different career options, to see college life and experience it.
While the event has many things for prospective students, it is really an event for all. K-State Open House was a family-friendly event having activities for kids of all ages, including jumpy houses like these and train rides through campus. Some other activities at the open house included a pancake feed, information booths put on by many different campus organizations, campus tours, performances from the K-State Swinging Spurs, pretzel-making demonstrations by the Bakery Science Club, the K-State Marching Band, and much more. The open house was able to reach out to some students who have never thought about coming to Kansas State.
I just wanted to look around and see what I'm interested in. I've really got into anthropology. I want to look in there, and then I'm just here for the scavenger hunt too, see if I can win some things, get a good t-shirt, I don't know.
The event was full of fun activities, many tours, and tons of K-State pride.
We have a lot of people here, and we got great people here, so I'm excited for all the great opportunities you have for our members.
If you missed out on this year's open house, keep your calendar clear for next year's event in early April. Coming up, we'll talk with the police officer on how to stay safe while using your ride-sharing services.
And a look at possible incentive for first responders in the community.
We are a family that does not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that represents a diverse and eclectic population.
We are a family that believes
that diversity, inclusion,
and sportsmanship
are expectations.
We are a family that is supportive and seeks to promote a positive and welcoming environment.
A family that treats people with respect and dignity.
An empowered family.
Who empowers family.
We are family, diverse and together.
This was my first time taking an online course, and well, it went really, really well. It really did not feel like an online course for me. It felt like we were in a classroom talking and discussing and collaborating with each other. It's a renowned university, and I really take pride in calling myself a Wildcat, and I'm really proud that I'm a K-State alumni now. So I think it adds up a lot of value that I'm from K-State.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
Recent incidents across the U.S. involving Uber drivers and their passengers have raised safety concerns regarding the company's pickup procedure. Reporter Katie Fink has the story.
Uber is a popular way for college students to get around. However, there are always dangers associated with transportation services.
Just recently, I actually got in the wrong Uber myself. I realized mid-ride that wasn't who was supposed to pick me up. So I was a little terrified, but having, thought about this and planned ahead, and thought, what am I going to do if I'm ever in this situation? Because you can't just assume that it's not going to happen to you.
If you do have an issue with your Uber experience or driver, the app makes it easy to report an incident under trip details.
No matter what you have to do to get yourself out of a situation, you need to do it. Report the driver so that you can ensure that it never happens again.
The number of Uber-related deaths, injuries, and harassments continues to rise in the United States. A few weeks ago, a USC student mistakenly got into her attacker's car thinking it was her Uber. Now, the state of South Carolina wants to pass a bill that would require Uber and Lyft drivers to have a giant illuminated sign on top of their car that's company provided to let people know that they are in fact the driver. Uber and Lyft passengers aren't the only ones who can come in contact with danger. Delivery drivers also need to stay on their toes as well.
Sometimes you can come into an instance where it just doesn't feel safe, or it feels like it's maybe a dangerous situation. If you're not comfortable with it, you can always just leave. Leave the food somewhere and call them and tell them where the food's at, either on their front door or front porch or something, because they're, if you ever feel uncomfortable, it's not worth the $6 to deliver someone's food, to get kidnapped or something like that. And, never step into someone's house, obviously. If they offer that, hey, it's warmer or whatever in here while I get my food, you just tell them no.
In Manhattan, I'm Katie Fink for Channel 8 News.
We now go to Katie, who is live here in our studio with a guest from the Riley County Police Department. Katie?
Thanks, Carolina. With increased imports of attacks involving rideshare programs, it's important to review some of the ways you can stay safe when catching a ride. I'm here with Police Officer Rachel Pate of the Riley County Police Department, who can give us some insight on steps you can take to be safe. Rachel Pate, thanks for being with us today. So what are some precautionary steps that passengers can take when riding in Uber and Lyft that can ensure a safe trip?
One of the first things that they can do is make sure to know how to use the app. The app does provide you with information on who your driver is going to be, the name of the driver, and also the type of vehicle. So learning some of the different types, makes, and models of vehicles would be something that would be kind of important. If you don't know what kind of vehicle you're looking for, use your phone to Google that kind of vehicle so that you know which vehicle to spot, and then once you see it, verify that it is the correct driver before you get into that vehicle.
Perfect. Now let me ask you this. Does the Riley County Police Department have any sort of protocol if an event like this was to occur?
We don't have any specific protocol per se. Our officers are trained in responding to all types of incidents, and they have been trained in responding to incidents such as this. So officers would respond to the area, and they would handle it as the situation, kind of developed.
Yeah, definitely played out. So, let's say I get into my Uber. The ride's going on. I feel uncomfortable. What are some things that I should do next?
One of the first things that you can do is if you feel that you're in an unsafe situation, call 911. Dial emergency services. A lot of things that people do first is they call a friend or family member, and then they get some advice, and then their friend or family member says, hey, call the police. Well, sometimes we don't get that information, and becomes quite a delay. So call the police department as soon as you can, dial 911, let us know all the information that you have about the situation, where you're at, watch for street signs, and look for things of that sort so that you can give us some more information to find you and help you, make sure that you're safe.
Yeah, so is there ever a moment where you advise someone to, fight back if they feel like they're being abducted?
This is definitely a very situational question. It depends on the person's abilities, kind of what resources they have, and other things of that sort. Obviously, if you feel that you're in an unsafe situation and you feel that you need to, flee the area or be loud and scream, that's something that we definitely tell you. If you can roll a window down and yell for help at a stop sign, wave someone down, get out of the vehicle. I wouldn't advise you to get out of the vehicle while it's moving, but again, it's very situational. If you feel that you're, at a great risk for your bodily harm, then you need to, make a phone call, do what you can to make sure that you remain safe.
Perfect. Thank you, Officer Pate, for being here with us today. Now we are going to toss it to reporter Taylor Corley, who was live at a self-defense class with some self-defense measures you can take.
Thanks, Katie. I'm here with Coach Larissa and Scott here at KO Boxing and Fitness in Manhattan, and we're going to go over a few tips that we can learn so that you can know self-defense. Thanks, guys, for being here with me. So what's the one tip that you guys, your first tip that you tell everybody?
Be very aware of your surroundings. Don't act and walk around like you're a victim. Keep your eyes off your phone, eyes forward. Act like you're somebody that when somebody sees you, you don't want to be messed with.
Awesome. So let's say you guys are at the mall. What's the first thing you guys want to do?
If he's a bad guy, I need to get away. I need to find a crowd, make noise, and get away. I don't stay here and fight.
Okay. So let's say you can't get away. Say the attacker grabs you. What are you going to do?
Let's say he grabs me.
First, Larissa's going to pull through the pinchers, and then she's going to run. She's going to get out of Dodge. So go find a crowd, make a lot of noise. Bad guys don't want people to know they're bad guys.
Exactly.
So draw attention.
So say you're in the parking lot, and your attacker grabs you, and you actually have a good hold on him. What are you going to do at that point then?
I need to get a head start. So he grabs. I don't want any trouble, but I got my plan in place.
Larissa's going to strike me twice in the nose, and then she's going to strike me in the side of the neck, and then she's going to use a wrist control technique, and then she's going to run, like she said, get that head start in a foot race. Go find a crowd, make a lot of noise.
Get out of the way. So what's the most important thing that students should know as they come to K-State?
Bad things happen everywhere. If you're from a small town, you might think that nothing can happen to you, or you look at a small town college and nothing's going to happen there to you. Bad things happen everywhere, and you need to be aware of that and take a class, learn about it.
And so with that, if somebody comes at you with a weapon, what's your first move?
Well, pretty typical down stab. Larissa's going to block and redirect. Then she's going to pin my hand to her hip. She's going to knee me to the groin of the abdomen. And she's going to strike me in the back of the neck. And then again, she's going to run. She's going to get out of here.
So you guys actually offer classes for self-defense, correct?
Yes, I can do groups with self-defense. We offer an open to the public self-defense class once a month. We also have K-State boxing for credit for the last 19 years. Kids classes, 4 or 5-year-olds boxing, fitness, all the way to 74-year-olds, and a competitive team.
So you guys actually have parents that contact you, correct, to get their students involved?
We do groups of sororities. We've got moms that kids are going off to college, so they're high school girls, and they want them to be aware. And so we set up a class just for them.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. We'll send it back to you guys over there at the desk.
The Riley County Police Department has proposed a budget increase for 2020. Riley County Police Department has asked for a 4% increase to their budget. This increase will be used for the currently underfunded programs such as overtime for police officers and on-call staff, as well as a CSI officer for the department. Captain Josh Kyle says that there are many programs like these that this increase is meant to fund.
Came to the table with somewhere around, I think it was 19 different suggestions for what we felt were priorities going into 2020. And then after discussing these different items, we finally selected and settled on 6 different items.
Not only would the Riley County Police Department be boosted with a pay increase, Riley County emergency and first responders have also asked for a stipend to increase the number of calls they can respond to. Out of 557 medical calls, Riley County first responders were unable to reach 261 of them due to a lack of available responders. Many are volunteers and work during the day. Having the extra funds would help to hire full-time staff and reimburse volunteers for the extra assistance.
24 hours a day, it takes between 6 and 7 people, and that runs us up just a little over $200,000. So volunteers save us a lot of money. When you start running the numbers and 5.7 people per call, even if you paid them $15 or $20 an hour, that's still saving $1 million.
After the break, we'll take a look at the weekly forecast.
And look at an update on the current pothole situation in the Manhattan community.
Left side 3 ball, yes! Throws it down! Wow! Oh my goodness, Steve! Way up above the rim and a block! Derek Brown taking on Gilgis Alexander, and he scores! Are you kidding? Kansas State is headed to the Elite Eight! Now throws it up the glass, and it goes in! And in one for Peyton Williams! To the left, it's wide open for Reiki. Yes! Three-pointer! Rob gets the ball back, left baseline, 8-footer. Good! Reiki's answer three-pointer. It's good!
Your identity is who you are.
Feels pretty good. Hurts a little bit when I'm putting pressure on it, but not too bad.
What's your pain level at?
Probably like a 3.
Okay, cool. So much better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. Well, I'm going to start to slow it down now.
Okay.
Welcome back to Channel 8. It's time to see what the upcoming weather will be. Channel 8 weather anchor Macy Burning has your update. Macy?
Thanks, Carolina. First, we'll take a look at our national temperatures. And on the West Coast, we have high temperatures of 50 in Seattle and 59 in California. All over the United States, we'll see low temperatures like 67 in Arizona. And then towards the east, we'll have 54 degrees and 81 warmer temperatures in Florida. In Iowa, we'll see 62 degrees about, and then in the Midwest, we're being hit by Winter Storm Wesley, so those temperatures will be down, and we'll show you what that looks like with our Kansas map. We'll have a low temperature of 31 here in Colby, Kansas, with low temperatures continuing throughout, but towards the east again, we'll see it warming up to 63 because this part of the state is not affected as much by that winter storm. We'll go ahead and go on to our 24-hour agenda. As we see, we have 49 degrees around noon. It'll be cold and cloudy all day today with high winds of 24 degrees, and that'll continue about all day until 7 o'clock whenever we hit, the wind hits out of the west about 19 miles per hour. And we'll go on to our 5-day forecast. As you can see, we do have a lot of cold weather this week. We're going to continue seeing those colder weathers throughout the weekend, and then we'll continue to, it'll warm up until Monday with that high of 78. That wraps up our weather forecast for this week. Back to Carolina at the desk.
For many Manhattan residents, morning commutes have turned into quite the challenge because of the potholes. The streets that have seen the most wear and tear are Sunset, College Heights, Kimball, and Anderson because of the higher rates of people that cross over them. Because of this issue, the city has been working to fill in the potholes or take further action to permanently fix the issue by milling and relaying asphalt. Now that the weather has started to heat up, the city has been able to fill close to 6,000 potholes all around Manhattan. While the city works to fix this issue, Manhattan Public Officer Vivian Uccello asked that drivers keep a couple of things in mind.
Drive with extra caution. We know it's an extra obstacle in the road. We're trying to address the worst areas and take care of the roads to keep people safe. But your responsibility as a driver is to be aware of your surroundings, slow down, be aware of other drivers.
Up next, we will take a look at what is going on in sports throughout K-State.
We will also take a look at how local high schools are doing for their baseball season.
Left side 3 ball, yes! Throws it down! Wow! Oh my goodness, Steve! Way up above the rim and a block! Derek Brown taking on Gildas Alexander, and he scores! Are you kidding? Kansas State is headed to the Elite Eight! Now throws it up the glass, and it goes in! And one for Peyton Williams! To the left, it's wide open for Reiki. Yes! Three-pointer! Goff gets the ball back, left baseline, 8-footer. Good! Reiki answer three-pointer. It's good!
Your identity is who you are.
Feels pretty good. Hurts a little bit when I'm putting pressure on it, but not too bad.
What's your pain level at?
Probably like a 3.
Okay, cool. So much better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. Well, I'm going to start to slow it down now.
Okay.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Sports anchor Jason Clapp has this week's sports updates. Jason?
Thanks, Carolina. First up, looks like the Wildcats will be losing a player as guard Good News Kapal Gul has decided to transfer before playing a single game with the team. In a message sent on Twitter, Kapal Gul said that while he thanks the university for the opportunity, he is actively looking for a new home. Coach Weber said in a statement that he appreciates Kapal Gul and wishes him the best of luck. Changes are also coming to the community sports with the warmer weather. At Tuttle Creek, various outdoor sports are provided by park staff, including kayaking, fishing, boating, and another sport that's been rising in popularity.
Disc golf, you bring your own equipment there. It's an 18-hole course. It's been around a long time and real popular. Our beach is real popular with younger people as well. So a number of good things.
With baseball season back, Manhattan High School teams have been back on the field going head-to-head. This past Friday, Manhattan High defeated Junction City High with a score of 3-2. Manhattan High is currently 3-2, while Junction City High stands at 3-1. And this past Tuesday, Rock Creek High dominated Chapman, winning both games, putting them at 6-0 this season. They have 2 games coming up this Monday at St. Mary's. Over at Riley County High, the Falcons managed to pull 2 wins against the Wabaunsee on Tuesday night's doubleheader, and they now stand at 3-1. All right, that's all we have for sports. Back to the desk.
After the break, see how the community is preparing for the Manhattan Pride Festival.
And a look into this weekend's upcoming weather.
We are a family that does not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that represents a diverse and eclectic population.
We are
a family that believes
that diversity, inclusion,
and sportsmanship
are expectations.
We are a family that is supportive and seeks to promote a positive and welcoming environment.
A family that treats people with respect and dignity.
An empowered family.
Who empowers family.
We are
family, diverse and together.
This was my first time taking an online course, and well, it went really well. It really did not feel like an online course for me. It felt like we were in a classroom talking and discussing and collaborating with each other. It's a renowned university, and I really take pride in calling myself a Wildcat, and I'm really proud that I'm a K-State alumni now. So I think it adds up a lot of value that I'm from K-State.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
The annual Pride Festival in Manhattan is coming up soon, starting with a parade at noon on Saturday and continuing with festivities into the afternoon. Little Apple Pride will be in City Park featuring vendors, drag performers, and live music. The event is put on by Manhattan's Little Apple Pride Committee and the Flint Hills Human Rights Project. This is the 10th year for Pride in Manhattan, an event every year in April. Pride is a celebration of the LGBTQ+ community but welcomes everyone.
Everybody can come. It is very family friendly. We wanted to make sure that we have a big event where everybody in the community, students, community members, young people, older people, doesn't matter your identity, everybody's welcome here.
All right, Macy, so how about the weekend forecast?
Yeah, so this weekend we see a high of 56 on both Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday we see that picking up a little bit with a high of 51 or a high of 61 and a low of 41.
Well,
yeah, that's all we have for today.
That's all we have for today.
Tune in next week on Channel 8 News for more.
This is Channel 8 News.